What's up, Financial Zen Masters? Yesterday, we started down the path on how you can generate passive income from the money that you save for a lifetime. So today, we're going to start digging into the strategy and how it all works, starting with the 30,000-foot view. But first, welcome to the Financial Zen channel, where the big question is, how can you, a super successful, hardworking professional with kids at home and a mortgage to pay, how can you quit your 9-to-5 grind to go pursue your passion while still providing for your family? That's the question. I got your answers. I am Rick Valenzi, a certified financial planner, the founder of Financial Zen, and your guide. Okay, so just a quick recap. If you haven't watched the video yet, go back and watch the video from yesterday. But the high-level takeaway from yesterday was modern retirement distribution strategies fall short because the 4% rule, which is the commonly adopted one, means you're either over-withdrawing when the markets are down or you're living off very little when the markets are down. So we want to get you shored up so that no matter what the markets are doing, you can continue to spend the same amount of money every year and generate the same amount of income from your portfolio every year, no matter what. So how do we do that? It's very simple. Very simple. You create two buckets. One is your safe money. One is your long-term money. The safe money is where your living expense will come from. And that's the money that we can draw down the same amount every year, no matter what's happening in the markets. And then your long-term money is your growth money. That's money that we need to grow in order to replace what you're spending from this bucket, okay? So there's the strategy. You got a safe bucket, you got a long-term bucket, and that's how they coordinate. Now, how does it actually work? What do you actually put into each one of those buckets? So the problem with the 4% rule, which is drawing down 4% of your portfolio, is that when the stuff hits the fan, right, you got some nasty choices to make. So what if we just remove that nasty choice? And when you create a safe bucket, what you do is you put 10 years worth of living expenses into your safe bucket. 10 years, okay? That's a lot of money. That's going to be about half of your portfolio you put into the safe bucket. And then with everything else, you keep it in the growth bucket, the long-term bucket. Okay, so why do you do it that way? Because when your money's safe, it's out of the market. The money in your safe bucket is not invested in the stock market. So the weekly, annual, every 5-year ebbs and flows, the market recessions, all the nasty stuff, the ups and downs that come with the stock market, you're not going to have to worry about, because that's not where your living expenses. That's not where you're going to pay your rent from. That's not where you're going to buy your groceries from. That's not what you're going to take vacations on. That all comes out of your safe bucket, your living expense bucket, okay, which is out of the market. So while you're living off that money, if the market tanks, which it will in some years, then you just don't do anything. You just ride it out, because as I've explained before, the best policy, the best investment strategy is to never sell. Okay. Now in the long-term bucket, that is where you put in growth money. That is going to be invested in the stock market, a well-allocated, diversified portfolio, right? But it is also going to ebb and flow with market fluctuations, year-to-year market fluctuations. Now we know, right, because we've talked about this before, that over the long term, the market only goes one direction. If you give it enough time, you will, and stay invested, you will make money in the stock market. If that ever changes, there's a lot, the world's coming to an end. There's a lot worse things going on than what your money's earning. So we know if we give it enough time, the market will only go up and you'll make money. Enough time, like 10 years, which is why I put 10 years worth of living expenses over here. Now, there have been 3 times in stock market history where over a 10-year period, you would have actually lost money, okay? Now, here's the thing about that. Actually, that's going to be too far into the weeds. There are 3 times where you could have lost money, but within this system, those 3 times would have been accounted for, and I've actually tested it out, and everything would have been just fine during those 3 periods. So I'll tell you more about that tomorrow as we dig deeper into how these two coordinate. Okay, so that's part 1. You got a safe bucket, which is where your living expenses come from, And then you got a growth bucket, which is where you're going to replace over time the living expenses that you're spending over here. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too much in one session. I'm gonna make a course out of this whole thing too. So stay tuned for the course because we're gonna get into much more detail on that. But I think that's enough for now. Okay. If you learned something, if you had an aha moment, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. What was your aha moment? Where did it come together for you? And then tomorrow I'll start detailing how we actually invest that money in each one of those buckets. All right. Till then. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.